Good evening, YouTube. I'm back and I'm going to be doing another makeup video. This is going to be like basically working on that fairy idea that I had earlier. Please ignore any chunks of latex you may see on my face. I was playing with that earlier, which I will upload a video on that, but I'm going to have to make sure that's edited. Otherwise, we're going to end up with another 25-minute video. So to start off, basically, I started with Prime and Prep, MAC Prime and Prep. That's what I usually use. Keep your face from completely drying out. And now I am actually working on doing some contouring, and today I'm using Wet n Wild Dual End Contour Stick. What I've started to do is go ahead and do the chin area. If anybody else has an issue with having a little bit extra skin down here, it's always a good idea, because in video or pictures especially, if you contour down here really well, it doesn't show as bad. I personally tend to focus on it if like I have like an extra chin in photos, but you know, everybody's different. After putting some contour here, put a little bit right here because I really kind of want a sunken look. Not hardcore, but definitely a little bit because we are doing fairies, so nymph-like would be good. However, I am plus size, as I've mentioned before, so nymph-like is not nearly as easy for me to carry out because I have a very round face. Highlight here, and you'll want to find your cheekbones. And if you have a rounder face like I do, you want to start actually back up here instead of just underneath here. You need to find your cheekbone where it ends right here and start there and work your way down. Last bit of darkening contour, because I am going to be paling my face out quite a bit, is right here. Just run the contour stick up and into the brow. And I've never used this Wet n Wild stick, so that's also part of the video today, is we're trying out something new. And then contour down into the dips right here. And we will probably be doing a little bit more contouring a little bit later, just to give my face a little bit more of a fairy shape. And then take Beauty Blender, make sure it's moistened. I know some people really hate that word, I apologize. Just damp, you don't want your Beauty Blender like completely soaked. Usually I just use a little bit of Prime and Fix on the end of it, depending on what products I'm using. And then pat it out. Just the bouncing method works really, really well on this. And especially with the chin, you want to make sure you're pulling down and towards, down and towards. I'm not completely in love with this color at this particular moment. It's almost showing up a little bit orange on me. I don't know if you can see that. Probably not. The lighting again. I'm going to be getting that fixed. Currently I'm mostly just using natural light, which is great for me because I can see what it's actually going to look like out in the light, but unfortunately on camera with the circle light it doesn't show up real great. But yeah, this is a tad bit orangey on my skin, so I'm a little bit worried about that. But again, trying new product. See if it's even viable for the upcoming event. And for the cheeks, I want to stay a little bit dark, and again, a little bit orangey. Basically, I just take and bounce and pull, bounce and push and pull. And then same thing with these. Now for up in there, because I don't want that to get everywhere, I usually use the tiny contour sponge. These little minis are kind of nice for that. Alright, so once I have it blended, I personally like to put the contour underneath to start, and then usually add some after I get to this next layer. After I'm done with this next layer. So since we are wanting to go really, really light, I'm taking Spirit Cream makeup, and this one needs actually replaced, so I apologize if we have a few makeup issues, because it's a little bit, yeah, it needs replaced. And then I take a little bit of my foundation, like so, and then I take a Beauty Blender and kind of bounce those together a little bit. because I don't want to go completely like ghost white. I just want to go really, really on the pale side. And I'm starting on the cheekbone and bouncing and concentrating the light there to help with the contour, to make the cheekbone really pop. There we go. And again, round her face, going up past the eyebrow area. There we go. Then I am going to switch out to my regular tone. Oh, I really need new sponges. And then bounce some regular, I'm already pale, so it helps with paling it out. Go ahead and bounce out some of my regular color. So essentially I'm going to have 3 different colors on my face. I'm going to have a whiter tan, my regular tan, and then the dark. And yes, pull it down. In this particular case, I'm going to be wearing something that you're going to see my chest in. So I want to pull it down actually into my chest area. I'm going to bounce a little bit on that white because that little white was a little bit intense. And I typically, because I want the smoothest possible application, want to pull it back into my hairline a little bit. Nothing crazy or overboard, but I don't want like, oh look, there's where her makeup stops. So just pull back just a little bit into the hairline. You're not going to hurt nothing doing it. Once you get your face to the point where you're comfortable, I'm almost there. I just want to make sure the foundation gets covered all over my face. I tend to, when I'm doing this kind of makeup, skip spots because I'm just concentrating on the contour and highlight. Alright, there we go. Base is down. And you can see very, very white on top, very, very dark on the bottom. Which is going to give you the sunken cheek look, like hardcore. Alright, after that is on, my Dead White Face Powder. This is one of my favorite brands to use. It's the Spirit brand, yeah. Spirit brand Dead White Face Powder. And this I do 2 different ways. One, when it's a pressed powder like this, using an actual pressing motion to get it into the skin actually will concentrate it more. So I'm going to take my sponge and do that, rather than just dusting over the face. Oops, there was a little latex left up there. I can just dab it with a baby wipe is what I just used on that. There's a little on my cheeks too, so they're gonna look a little bit patchy. But since today is just a tutorial, it'll be alright. Well, I don't even know if I'd call this a tutorial, just a rundown on different looks you can do. Cosplay wise. So, and these aren't extreme effects. This is just like little things you can do to enhance your costume. I do full effects sometimes, just sometimes it's a little harder to do the full effects, especially if you're going on the road and going to, like, we go to Dragon Con and several others, and there's several of us in the car, and several of us need makeups and things like that. So sometimes it can just make it easier if you just do some of the simpler things you can do to just change your face shape just a little bit. Alright, we're going to take some bronzer and a fluffy brush, a small fluffy brush. And, oh, this was another recommend. It's called Butter Bronzer. It smells absolutely fantastic. Never used it, haven't used it yet, so this is going to be also another first. But I'm just going in and making that contour just a little bit more evident on the nose area. Nothing crazy. Just a little bit more of a shape. And just using my finger just to soften it just a little bit. Alright. It does, it actually smells really good. It smells like the tropics in a bottle. It's kind of awesome. Alright, so after I do that, then basically I'm going to take, I'm going to knock this over. That's what I'm going to do apparently. Take a little bit of a dense brush and then blend. I want to blend this out so it's not quite so harsh. Now I'm not really using a ton of powder. I'm just like dabbing, and like I said, this is a pressed powder, so when you just dab like that, you just get the smallest amount of product on your brush. So, because you don't want to completely do away with the contour, but you just don't, I don't personally want it quite as evident as it was. There we go. And then I'm still going to use a concealer, because I have very dark circles under my eyes. I don't want those highlighted. Trying out new concealer as well. So this is a bunch of new makeup. I just want to give it a shot before. Age Rewind is another recommendation by Beauty Guru. So we're just going to give that a shot. And then it's a brighter color than what my skin tone is, so you can actually use it to highlight. So I took it up my nose. Just to give a little more definition between the dark and the light. There we go. And yes, there's still, this is bothering me. There's crumblies on my face. Now I'm muffing my makeup up, because the crumblies are bothering the poo out of me. Okay, note to self. If you're gonna do makeup, do not mess around with latex first. There we go. That's better. Not completely solved, but better. Well, this side's pretty much all the way gone. This side's still got crumbles. It'll be alright. Again, the nice thing about just messing around is you don't have to worry a ton. Although I don't want to make this video super crazy long. Where are we at now? 14 minutes. Oh, it's gonna be another long video. I'm sorry. But you don't have to watch it if you don't want to, so there's the good news. Alright, now that I fixed the previous mistake, well, I don't know if mistake, but gotten rid of the crumbles off my face from messing around with latex. It's a nice smooth surface. That makes me much happier. Okay, so once we've gotten this point, I'm going to go ahead and put on highlights, and I'm going to be using what I showed you that I got out of the box, the Reveal Luminizing Drops. And again, since I have a rounder face, I carry it up past where, there we go. And then, of course, blend it in. Actually, I think I'm going to use a little guy for this, because I have several of these little guys, so. Because I really, really want it to be nice and wow, and your face shiny, so I'm probably going to use more than one highlight. There we go. Still have crumblies, especially in my hair. And then the other highlight I'm going to use is the Becca powder, because the powder will seal it a little bit. And knock that over. Yeah, I need to go get this in the full because, wow, I don't know if you can see. You kind of can now. That's insane, insane, insane glow. All right. Then I'm going to take the Lunatic Cosmetics, the white that I showed you before, and foil it onto my lid. So I'm going to take a flat brush. This is Large Shadow Brush by Sephora. It doesn't actually have a number on it. To foil, basically you take like Max Fix Plus or something along those lines, and you basically just wet your brush. And then go ahead and put it in your pigment. Basically what that does, it kind of takes up the pigment a couple of notches and can make it look very, very more metallic-y than it would in the first place. That's what I'm using as the base. Maybe a little on the nose too, because I just love the sheen that this gives off. Now what I do for my Lunatic Cosmetics, because it's a loose powder like this, is I have a very old school Mary Kay little tray that came with a mirror that I still use. I just tap out a little bit of powder onto the mirror, or well, onto the tray part of the Mary Kay dispenser. It used to have another piece to it too. I'm not sure where the other piece went, but it used to come like this. It's your trays that you use to throw parties. I just use the tray part for that. Because I'm doing the dark fairy, I definitely am wanting to like blow this white out like hardcore, because I'm going to be putting an extreme dark on the corners, and I want that distinctive difference. Alright. And again, Lunatic Cosmetics, this is an amazing pigment. It's so metallic-y looking when you foil it. I mean, it's a beautiful white anyway because it's highly pigmented. But foiled, it's just absolutely amazing. I know it's not picking up super well on the camera. I will definitely take this off the stand and show you after I'm done, but yeah, this is insane. Okay, so that part is done. And I've got a little extra pigment on here, so I may use that a little bit later because I don't like to waste product. Or I'll put it back in the thing. It actually might be enough to do that. Okay, so whew. Now that the base is on the eyes, the other thing I'm going to do is take the dark pigment now. I think I'm going to use Stila. No. What is this? The Estee Edit. It's, ooh, I'm gonna throw it apparently. It is a liquid fluid metal eyeshadow. Gotta warm it up with your hands a little bit. And if you have a problem with like metal-y eyeshadows, I'll probably stick away from this because it can make your eye itch just a little bit. Warm it up. And so much product gets on the wand. So I scrape a little. Then create desired. Desired, I don't even know if I'd say design shape to where you want the black. I think I'm gonna go a little Elvira-y. Then a little bit more of a condensed fluff brush. This is just an El Cheapo. Doesn't have any labeling on it. Kind of work that in as a base. And then after that, because this has glitter in it, that's kind of why I used it. I'm going to take my Kat Von D palette and really buff that color out and fade it in because I don't really want that super crazy harsh line, but I want a little bit of a harsh line. It's a little harsher than when I usually go, but again, this is not like everyday makeup. This is for an actual event. Which, if you do watch this and you are in Cincinnati, go check it out. It's a Midsummer's Night Masquerade, Pandora Society, www.thepandorasociety.com here in Cincinnati. There is going to be fire eaters, belly dancers, lots and lots of entertainment. Plus, they're offering a dinner this year if you want to sign up for it for a little bit extra. It's going to be a lot of fun. Alright, going to take white in my Kat Von D. Kind of go back over that. Alright, now the extreme is there. The extreme contrast. Alright. And then I'm going to show you exactly how I achieve the mouth look that I posted in the other video. So, let's see. Maybe. If I can find. Looking for my Ben Nye pod. Oh, there it is. Alright, so I took my Ben Nye pod, because I think I skipped this step last time, and lined my mouth. Also, it helps if you are going to be using extreme colors. Go ahead and do a scrub on your lips before you do this, because this will cling to like any imperfections in your lips. Oh, I'm sorry you can't see. Alright, once I get a general line on with this small, then I take my larger lip brush. So the guy right here, it's the e.l.f. Professional, it just says brush. And I blend it out. Alright, once I got a good line and a good fill on that, I'm going to take the Tattoo Junkie that I showed you. Again, I usually warm it just a little bit because separation happens if you leave stuff sit. Now, I am making sure that I'm taking the edge of this and blending that black in so it's not like an obvious crazy line. I just wanted to deepen this nude shade with using that black eyeliner. And the eyeliner, I think I said it is Ben Nye Body Pod lip color. Black. It's LCS1 black. It stays on really, really well. Okay, so liner. Tattoo Junkie. This is Minx is the color. Then let it dry to the point where it gets kind of tacky. At least that's what I do. And then I take my Bati glitter. It doesn't take long for it to get to the tacky stage. Then roll on the body glitter. And then I take my even larger lip brush. And again, not marked, doesn't have any labeling. And my finger. And smooth it out. And like I did yesterday, I also have the roll-on, and this is the NYX Roll-On Shimmer Eyes, Face, Body. So usually when it says eyes, face, body, I don't have any qualms about putting it on my mouth. It doesn't specifically say mouth, so I can't guarantee it's a good idea to do. But usually if you can get it in your eyes, then it's okay. And it says face, and your lips are part of your face. I took the NYX Roll-On Shimmer in Onyx. And went over it. So first with Platinum and then with Onyx. and then I let it dry. And then again, with the NYX, give a little shimmer on the eyes, and you really don't need much. Take a little bit of the glitter on the white, and then the corresponding onyx on the dark. Alright. This is going to be a really, really long video. I'm just going to post it. It's fine. Then, to make your eyes appear a little bit larger, because I have really small eyes, I use white on the bottom. And then a tight line with white as well. Sorry, couldn't see that. I blocked it. I'm very sorry. And then take a small brush, small flat brush. Not that one though. Ah, this one, the angled small flat brush. And I'm pulling the color out. There we go. Alright, here we go. Lined. Now I pulled the white liner out there, there. Now technically with this, if you wanted to give it a little more depth, you just leave the white and not really blend it out, because you can blend it out into the black and it'll cover pretty easy, but I think I'm just going to leave the white there. And again, you really aren't going to be able to see until I take this, turn this off, and take you into the light so you can see what I've done. I don't think there's enough contour. I think I blotted it out too much. So I'm going to take an angled brush with just a little bit of bronzer. I'm not sure I like that contour stick by Wet n Wild. It looked very, very orange on my skin tone. Okay. Then blend. All right, let's kick up. Yeah, I'm still getting like an orange flare. These eyes. Normally also what I think would look really good with this look, but I'm definitely not going to probably do it today because I don't have any. I need to go visit the House of Lashes, is put some lashes on with this to give it an extra flare, dramatic effect. Okay, so here is where people have problems, and so I'm going to show you what I do to try to help myself do this. And again, I have good days and bad days just like everybody else. I don't think there's any real foolproof method to getting a freaking good wing. So what I typically do is take the, oh, I want you to be able to see this. Let's see if we can, oops, sorry. Tip this up just a little bit. Hopefully you can see now. Okay, so typically what I try to do is at the bottom right here, I pull out the line like that. It also depends on what shape you're going for. I'm looking for an straight up and down. And then once I have it pulled out to where I want it, then I take and pull from the top. And match the lines and then fill it in. Like that. I'm very particular. I like to have the point as wisp as possible. By wisp, I mean like as small little point as humanly possible, so it's nice and crisp. It's a wisp of a crisp. And then I brought the color in to about the center of my eye. Again, I have really small eyes, so it's really beneficial for me not to cap in my eye. I'm going to smudge it just a little bit into the white, just to soften that line a little bit. Again, you'll notice up here, I usually tend to not go directly on. I leave a little bit of a gap and put some white in there. Because again, I have very, very small eyes, and when I smile, my cheeks go up in my eye, and I lose them completely in photographs a lot. So, here we go. Next thing I'm going to use Mehron Signature Glitter Marker. This is what I told you about before, and how I use this stuff is I usually squeeze some out on that pan I showed you earlier. Then I'm going to take the angle brush that I was using, because this stuff is really, really crazy, amazingly glittery. And then I'm just going to very, very, very lightly pull that onto there. And then do this. Oh, I haven't done the other side yet. Oops. Ooh, apparently I'm hungry. There you go. Then I'm also going to use a little under the eyes. Okay. Alright, now the corner. Now you put that contour there to give you a little bit more of a shape definition, so I'm just putting it right in the corner and then pulling it down. Alright. Here I could actually just stop, put the eyelashes on, and go with that. I may do a little bit more with it, maybe a little bit more sunken in, but this is already a super, super long video, so I just wanted to give you an overview on how to get some different looks, especially the lips. Let me turn that off. And let's see if we can find you some good ones so you can actually see what I have done. Alright. Anyway, there we go. So this is at least the beginnings and the base for my dark fairy. Oh, and I didn't put any eyelashes on either, like curl them. I haven't done anything eyelash wise, and I'm probably going to do something up here on the temple, maybe some dots with the glitter or something to that effect. But yeah, here we're at. And so everybody, happy crafting, happy makeuping, and enjoy your cosplay day.